Hey scrappers, it's the Shark, and I'm still working my way through this big server load. Come on, let's dive in and take a look at the HP Procurve 2848. Remember, the safest way to watch out for the Shark is to like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that bell so you don't miss a single episode, and be nice and tell your friends about it so they can be watching out for the Shark as well. So now we get to the last of the switches. This is the HP Procurve 2848. This is the last of the models that I have many of, 90 total. The challenge with this model is that it is using torque screw. And it uses torque screws throughout. So what I'm going to do is I am going to have to do this piece by piece. I'll have to stop the video, remove a bunch of torque screws, and then start it up again. The reason why this is going to take a little bit longer than with the Phillips is because my Torx heads are electronics, for working on electronics equipment. They can't take the torque of my screwdriver, and I don't have an adapter. So I have to use, one of my little Radio Shack repair kits to get in there. So stand by and we will be right back. All right, so we've got the lid off. Nice big piece of steel there. And what we find inside is a very nice high-end board. Definitely what my yard calls high grade. Some yards would call it telecom. So you can decide what you think your yard would go with. On one of the other ones that I scrapped in a sample, each of these BGAs had heat exchangers on them, aluminum heat exchangers. This one didn't, so that's interesting. Those are Broadcom BCM 567s. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a Motorola over there. Plus there's some Gold Edge BGAs. In addition to the BGAs, there are some gold edged oscillators, and of course gold-plated pins. Strangely enough, I don't see any tantalum capacitors on this side. See some MLCCs. So we'll go ahead and remove the board and see what's on the back side of this, and I'll be right back. These are also torque screws, so I'm going to stop the video and come back to this. Oh, one thing real quick before I go there. I'm going to take off these light spreaders. I talked about those on the other model of large board, and here you see aluminum heat sinks and more BGAs. So again, here we have the LEDs that generated the light when that circuit was active, and then here's BGAs underneath. Each one of those BGAs has an aluminum heatsink on top of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of those. And we have another small board over here. Let's see what's hiding underneath of this board real quick. Well, I still got you on. This is just 3 screws, so we'll get these guys out of the way and see what's underneath of here. All right, so not much of anything. Looks like some LEDs, some real thin gold-plated pins in there, but otherwise that's a do-nothing board, so we check that in probably with just the low grades or something like that. All right, I'm going to, oh, but it was hiding a whole bunch of MLCCs down there. So you can see there's a whole bunch of MLCCs hiding underneath there. Alrighty, I will be right back. I'm going to take off some screws and we'll be right back. Alright, I think I have all the screws out. Let's go ahead and pull the miscellaneous connectors. Get those out of the way. Alright, so let's see what's on the back here. Alrighty then, we have some ICs, some more MLCCs scattered around this board. That's about it. Just not much on the back. I'll strip off all that stuff because that won't have any impact to the value of the main part of the board. We pull off these lights distributors, and we've got the BGAs underneath of these. My yard definitely wants me to remove heat sinks, so when I take this into my yard, those will be off of all of them. And there's some gold wire down inside of that, gold wires of course inside of all these, and I have to decide if I want to mess with taking all that stuff off. So we definitely have an iron board here. We'll see if my yard is going to give me telecom for it. As I've mentioned before, they've been loath to do telecom, but it's going to be hard for them to argue this one. All right, so that is all four of the. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's not ignore the power board that's on this. So the power board is also on with a torque. Fortunately, it's the same T9. So let's go ahead and get that off of there real quick. It's really not that an exciting power board. One of the other models had a much more exciting power board, a lot more copper on it than this one has. So I think that's interesting. But the other thing that I found was interesting was another one of these that I scrapped out to get an idea what was in here and what I was doing before I got on the camera, had a compact flash card in place of one of those big silvery Broadcom cards. So the result there was the Broadcom socket, of course, had the gold pins for where the flash card connected. So I don't know if that made that board any more interesting than this one, but let's get you out of the way. You're not causing a problem, but I just want to get you out of there. And that's just the socket causing me a problem. The power plug is causing me an issue here. Let's see if we can give it a little encouragement. It is screwed down right there. Nope, it is not. So it's just ha 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 ha! I love it. When things don't come out pretty easy, it usually means there's a screw that you missed. Yeah. There we go. Takes care of that problem. All right. So there's the power board. I'll probably pull off that and get the copper off of that. Of course, the cable has to come off. Probably pull these guys off for the copper. I'll do a test and see how easy it is to get the aluminum off, but I want to leave some weight on this board. So there you go. That's just that's the power board. Nothing to get too excited about here. And some fans. So again, I just pull the wires off of the fans, and these, let's see, these fan clips, there's no gold in there, so they just go in the little metal bucket. All right, so there you have it. That's what I'm dealing with. 4 different kinds. This one has the best board in it, and you would expect that with the Torx screws. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more of those to go. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 more of those to go. I've already scrapped out 2. Next up in quality are these. And I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 of these, and I've already scrapped out a few of these. And then I've got a whole bunch of the smaller ones, not the real small ones, but these. This one here, you can see. What's this one called? This is the 2600. So these are, each one of these rows is 2, and you can see I got a lot of those that I got to work through. So I'm going to be at this for a while. You don't need to be bored watching me do this. I will put this video up so you all have a chance to see what all is in it. And my plan here is to collect up everything from these boards that I know I'm going to take back right away. What I mean by take back, take to the yard right away. So I'm going to make sure that all of these boards, and I'm going to keep each of them separated, and I want to then take it to the yard, sell it off, and see how much I get, so that I can get an idea of, am I making reasonable assessments of what things are worth for scrap value, because a lot of the higher end stuff that I get is because I'm bidding on auctions from local governments, school districts, things like that. Some of that stuff just goes for ridiculous money. I let it go. I have what I believe is a maximum that I'm going to pay for things, and if it goes above that, then, you know, I don't buy it, because I'm not in this to lose money. Now, I'm not doing it for a living. My heart goes out to those folks that are doing it for a living. I'm doing it for the interest and for making sure that things get either recycled or reused for our environment, and also out of the curiosity to see how things go together and how you take them apart. All right, everybody, have a great day. I will let you know how this proceeds with another follow-up video.